guys, welcome back to Millennial Madness. We are back again. It's your girl Nay, as well as my sister Nick, and we are here with an all new topic, ready to go. So make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, follow us. We love to hear your feedback, and yeah, stay tuned for a bomb.com episode.
We in this. So our last episode, we talked about the hardest part of you. So if you haven't heard it, go back, find it, listen to it. I promise you, it will shake you to your core, and you're gonna be back for more. I mean, we're just like a little bite-sized, tasty. Anyway, so today we're gonna talk about the power of your presence. All right. So in saying that, we're talking about what are you bringing into the room? What are you bringing into the spaces that you're entering in? What are you bringing into your relationships? What is the power of your presence, and how are you using that power for good or for bad? So we're going to, I'm going to bat it on off to you.
Yeah, so I'm going to catch that ball. Thank you. You know, a lot of times I've heard people so many times, I watch a lot of videos and stuff like that, celebrity news. And one of the things that I think is so profound that I hear across the board is it's about Beyonce. I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like that fan. But, you know, one thing that I can give the girl is everybody that has come into contact with her talks about her presence, her aura that she brings into the room. Same thing with Rihanna. They talk about, man, it's just a power that comes with them when they walk in the room. When they walk in the room, it's like everybody's like, oh my gosh. You know, now on a smaller scale, because of course we're not Beyonce yet, but, you know, on a smaller scale, when you walk into a room, people are like, oh God, oh my Lord, here they go again. Like, or people like, oh my God, that's a girl, yeah, thank you. You know, like, what are people doing when you walk through the room? The power of your presence. And
is it a side eye or, you know?
I'm about to go. Let me get my stuff. I'm out of here. You know, what's happening when you walk into the room, you know? And so, or what can people expect from you when you walk into the room?
That is nail on the head right there.
One of the things I think that people don't realize, and if you go back to our last episode, we kind of touch on this, but I think one thing that people don't realize is that when you walk in, your body language, the way that you look, the way that you are, you know, your neck crooked, or the way you holding your purse, you holding your purse up, are you holding it down, or, you know, the way you walking in, are you, you know, like, come step up if you want to, you know. And of course it's situational, but on a normal, you know, basis, how are you walking into the room? What are people perceiving? And I think that it's important to identify that. It's important to identify that because it also determines how people receive you. So I think that,
and you know, it's about, I'll never forget. Okay, so I'm a proud graduate of Louisiana State University, LSU Tigers, whoop whoop. And I remember in the quad, where the quad is where all the different classes are. There's the big library, all the things. But in the quad, you would see all sorts of different people just walking about. And you could literally check facial expressions to see how their day is going, who they're with, and what kind of self-esteem issues.
Oh God, I'm late for school.
You know, there's the, you know, tight booty walk that happens. There's the slow stroll. There's the sitting down in the middle of the section where, you know, you ain't got nothing to do. You know you have class right now, but you're like, you know what? I'm not going to this class right now. All of those things, that language, you can literally see where someone is at that moment while just watching them, you know. And we put off so many facial, body language, facial expressions, subliminal messaging that we put out there to people, even though that may not be the case. Maybe you're thinking about something and it's projecting on your face. Maybe, you know, you're just zoned out somewhere and everybody's looking at you like, well, what's wrong? What's going on? You okay? You're like, yeah, I'm fine. No, you're not fine. Your face is not fine. Your body language is not fine.
Yeah.
So it's very important to check your presence and whether or not you are present in the conversation or in the room or in the situation, because people will pick up on it and they will call you out on it in so many words. Either they're going to react to how you are, they're going to react to, oh, is that you in the front? They're going to tug on your coattails saying, hey, you know, what's the problem? You know, and you may not even have a problem. So I think we kind of want to identify, how do you do that? Because it took some practice for me. I know at any given time, you know, I'm a busy mom, I'm a working mom, got businesses going on, got all sorts of things happening, school, I'm in school, again, Lord help me, you know, she's in school, you know, it's a lot, there's a lot. And so at any given moment, it's hard to disengage from different things that we have going on, and it reflects in our body language and it reflects on our face. My kids can pick it up instantly, they already know. You know, and that's not good. It's not. So what do you think? I'm gonna throw this ball back at you.
Yeah.
You think or what have you done to kind of check that? Because I know I'm still a work in progress.
Honestly, that's the thing. I hadn't checked it. And that's what I need to check. That's why I have no friends now. I need to check it. And so, you know, look, it's hard because I feed off of what you feed, you know, that's how I am. Yeah. And so, like, I'm just thinking in my head, like, for an example, like if I'm in a doctor's office or something and I walk up to the counter, I could be on 10. I just got finished bumping my music. I'm like, man, I'm in my vibe right now. And the lady at the counter, if she's like, the first thing I'm gonna be like, oh, you got an attitude. Oh, okay, all right. That whole vibe that I just had is gone. Right. And I'm like, what's your name? You know, that's how, you know, and I need to work on that because she might not have nothing going on, but based off of what I'm a feed off of what you giving me. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so it's like, look, it could be however you want it to be. If we at a party, like I've gone to family functions where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have a good time today. I'm really gonna have a good time today.
You gotta hype yourself up.
I gotta hype myself up. You know, I'm having a good time today, and I'm happy to see everybody. Like, I'm like, hey, girl, oh my God, I haven't seen you in a while. And it's like, if I get the vibe from somebody, let's say a family or a family friend, if I get the vibe that it's like we don't see eye to eye, automatically I'm like, hey.
Why you got the squinty eye?
How you doing? Good.
I can have some power, man.
And the thing is this, like my husband, he's like, hey man, check your attitude. Get your attitude together. I'm like, I'm not about to check nothing. You know, shoot, you better understand. And that's why I say I ain't there yet. I know that the presence that I can bring in, I know for a fact, and I'm not saying this to be arrogant or to be rude or anything. I know for a fact when I walk into the room, I can either bring the room all the way up to where it's like, Jess, you're so funny. Girl, you're so funny. Or it's going to be like, shut down. Shut it down. It's deep.
Right. You know, and that's the thing. I don't think, so this whole episode is not about, like, we got it all together. No. This is identifying that we do not have it all together, but it is impacting our lives, and I'm sure it's impacting other people's lives as well. Like, we have the power. There was one thing that I actually heard on a radio show. It was a while back. I have no idea who even said this, but this lady, it just struck me. It convicted me. I felt, oh, why are you in my house?
The shoe fitting.
She looking in my window, you know, and she literally said, you have the power to set the atmosphere of your home. And she asked, she said, so what atmosphere are you setting? I said, oh, what? Oh, well, it's been cloudy days. You know, it's been
cold in here.
You know, I literally had, it convicted me because, you know, my husband, I love this man. God bless him. He has dealt with me. I've dealt with him, but he has dealt with me, you know, and he'll come home from a long day at work, and I've been trench deep in kids. I've been working myself. I'm slaving at the kitchen, trying to get that wrist work in, and he'll come in, and I'm just looking at him side eye like, what? Mm-hmm. What more are you trying to put on my plate? And he's like, whoa, I'm just happy to be home, you know? And so my projection of that, well, you know, he's like, man, I'm checking out at work. I'm ready to come home, get into home mode. I did not welcome him home.
Yeah.
And that was on me, you know, and I'm having to be better at that because even though I'm bogged deep in what I'm going on, I should not project that to him because then that sets the whole tone of our evening. you know. And I believe in a lot of marriages. Yeah, look, let me tell y'all. I'm gonna be the first to tell y'all, because look, I'm a military spouse, all right. And a lot of times I'm carrying it by myself, not because he's not willing or able, but because he's literally in the field somewhere doing things to support our country and our family. And so I had to check myself and say, look, this is a partnership. He's holding up his side. I need to hold up my side.
Right.
This is teamwork. This isn't a, or he's doing more and I'm doing more. But for a long time, you know, especially when you have babies, it's like, oh, I'm ready to drop these kids off. It's time for me to rest. You know, nah, sis, you know, you don't know what he's been doing out there as well. Not saying that your load isn't heavy. It's all heavy. It is all heavy. But I have the power to set the tone.
Mm-hmm.
He's more accepting and more susceptible to help me with that load, versus me just stiff-arming him and saying, hey, look, I had a rough day. I ain't even about that.
Right.
It goes down to so many things. So the power of your presence is so powerful, especially as women. We have so much power that we don't use in the right way. We do not use it in the right way. Now, you know, maybe one day we'll have some guest speakers from the spouses so they can give your perspective. But from me, that was something I struggled with. You know, I'm a sister soldier. You know, we are like in our last episode, we are cut. This is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. But our spouses, they are the same. They need that same support that we're giving to these kids, that the same attention that we give to our jobs, the same, all of those things. So just being conscious of that, because I'm telling you, once I made a shift, he made a shift.
Yep.
Then we shifted together.
And I think that's important too. I think the fact that you said that you made the shift first, you didn't wait until he was like, I'm gonna respond to how, you know, you got to make the move first. It's like, no, I recognize that what I'm bringing into this room is not really,
it's not right.
It's not right. And I need to at least make the attempt to try to ease this down. You know what I'm saying? I need to.
A story that really speaks to that, Helen Keller, you know, when her teacher was trying to teach, she's mute and she could not hear. So you can just, and she was blind, I believe. She could not do anything, but her teacher was still trying to teach her. And what made this woman, who went on to be an excellent scholar, teaching other people, even with her limitations, this lady, it was something called prime the pump. She ran water and signed the word water in her hand. And that was the thing that triggered her understanding to know, oh, she's trying to teach me something. Oh, she's trying to show me something.
Yep.
But if that instructor had not primed that pump and kept going and pumping on that thing and running that water so she can understand, she never would have understood.
Yeah.
And that would have been a lost, you know.
Yeah. And I think that also goes like, in translating it over to the real world and translating it to your everyday interactions with people. Sometimes people are gonna still give you the stank face. They're gonna still be in their feelings sometimes. Me, you know, which I'm working on. But you still have to give them the love. You still have to come in and say, hey, how you doing? How you doing? You remember that lady that was typing all bad at the doctor? Hey, how are you today? Oh, I'm doing. You're doing okay. Well, it's such a good. I'm so glad to see you. You know, you look good today. You look good today. And slowly peel away at those things. And while you're trying to do that to other people, it also kind of inadvertently helps you.
Right.
It helps you by realizing that it's okay to be nice. Sometimes people will respond to what you're trying to bring. You know what I mean? So if you come home and you're like, you know what? I'm going to make sure that my household is a household of peace, is a household of love, that I am not overstressed. I am not overworked. I'm going to pace myself. Then that calmness will translate to your kids. Are like, go sit down and go put that up. Baby, look, why don't you go put your toys up? Let's go ahead and get some food, and and then set the tone for what you want it to be. And honestly,
you set those expectations, you know. Now let's just be clear. We are some Southern women. We're raising Southern children, and sometimes that act right needs to happen. Okay,
all the time. No, not all the time. Yeah, sometimes.
The snatch within your soul has to happen, but if you are setting a standard with them, if with anybody, that these are my boundaries, and you are encroaching upon you hitting the fence. Mm-hmm. This is what's going to happen after that fence. So that makes your reaction, your presence, and all the things justified, because you have crossed that bridge that I told you is a barrier for me. You know, so there's a difference in just free range and actually setting those barriers and operating within those barriers. That I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, no, that is true.
This ain't no new age willy-nilly.
That's true, because I mean, at the same time, people can get the act right. You know, that's essentially what we're saying.
Sometimes
it's
unavoidable.
But at the same time, it is very important that you are mindful when you walk in, that I have done everything in my power possible as me, as a human, to make sure that my interactions are positive, to make sure that I'm not giving off the wrong type of energy, you know. And honestly, I've gone as far as I've been, because so many people have told me about my face and how it is, that I've actually went into the mirror and just been like, no, okay, no, that's a little hard. No, you know, that's a little hard. You know what I'm saying? I've actually tried to look at what are you looking at? Why are you telling me that my face is looking mean? Because it's not. And then when my spouse or I go in the bathroom, I'm like, okay, let me do the same thing. Like, oh wait, that does look a little mean. You know, you're able to identify, well, you know, maybe I do got that stank face all the time. You know what I mean? And it causes you to overall just be a better person. You know, it just,
and, you know, having that sounding board, you need a person. Look, a mirror is just an example. Like, a mirror doesn't have to be a physical mirror. A person can be a mirror. A book can be a mirror. The Bible can be a mirror. Anything can be a mirror. Whatever you're trying to see within yourself, you need that check. You need somebody that's going to hold you accountable, or something that's going to hold you accountable to what you got going on. Because if you feel that there's dysfunction, if every time you walk in a room, you automatically feel like nobody likes me, that is a you problem.
That is.
It's not even realistic for everyone, the entire world, to just not like you. It's not even possible. Now, if you've done something, you know, hey, they might not like you. But you know what I'm saying? So you have that opportunity, and you also have the opportunity to change those perspectives. You have all this power. And I you know, and it's something that I've actually kind of stepped into myself. I didn't realize how much power I had. I did not know. I had no idea. You know, there are people that are going to have bad days that have nothing to do with you.
Right.
Nothing to do with what you got going on. They are not even worried about you. You are just someone else that's coming in to make their day worse. Why not make it better? Why not be that catalyst to see the change?
Right.
Because you can only control you.
And the thing is too, a lot of times, one thing that I had to realize that I feel like God has shielded me from is I can be very flip with my words. And a lot of times you never know what's the last straw for someone. You never know what is that one thing that's going to cause them, that's just going to say, give me the chair. Wow. You know, you never know what that last thing is. And you could be the difference between them. I'm about to. Oh wow. Okay. Wow. Wow.
That's real talk.
Right. She's
people real trigger happy these days.
Or
they real
them
trigger happy,
flying off the handle. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's like,
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. And so why not at least, hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do a clean slate. I know how I've been. I know, you know, but I'm going to genuinely try this time. When I go into this room, I'm going to genuinely try and be pleasant. I'm going to try and make sure that I am giving the same energy that I want to receive, because it makes a difference. Now, if you give them good and you give them nice, and you're nice, and you're still, yes, ma'am, and they still doing everything else, then as we stated, there's a line. You've now crossed that line.
But also understand too that if you've gone too far with someone, recognize they need time to heal.
Yeah.
It's not fair for you to impose, like, you're ready. I've changed, glory. But guess what? They still remember
the things,
changed. They still remember that hurt that you had. And it's just the same as you. If someone hurt you, you got to heal from that. So all you can do is give a valiant effort to rectify a situation, rectify a relationship, but recognize that they may or may not receive that. You can only
and
change
be okay with that.
and be okay with
And
that.
be okay with that.
Yeah, own up to your stuff, man. Like, you look, I know there are things that I may have done or said or been or whatever. Nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. And you will offend, you will hurt, you will do things that will damage relationships. Now, if you're actively if that relationship is worth it to you, you will give it an effort to fix it. And it's not going to be fixed just off this isn't Barney is a dinosaur. I love you. I love me. That is not that kind of situation. Sometimes there are things that you may have done that are deep, and it is going to take continuous effort to rectify that situation. That means being observant of your presence every time you're with this person.
Yeah.
In an effort to repair that relationship. Because sometimes you are not the victim. You are the predator.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I mean, hurt people hurt other people, and so we are trying to build on a system and a situation where I know, at least for me, if there is anything in my heart or anything that I may have done for anyone, I am willing and open to fix that damaged part. That is me. Everybody is not like me. Mm-hmm. And in another situation, there are some relationships that maybe you should not fix. Maybe they were toxic. Maybe they were impeding upon your health. And I'm not just talking physical health. I'm talking mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, financial health. There are some times that the presence that you have, that objection,
needs for a reason.
That barrier needs to stay there for your health
and
for theirs.
And the thing is too, I think that there's a level of wisdom that has to be in play with this as well.
Right. Don't just go guns a-blazing.
Yeah,
don't some discernment. Use some discernment.
You
know who fits. If you need a chart, make a chart. But who fits in what category. Know relationships are worth it. What relationships are damaging. A good example, a toxic boyfriend that he may not have hit you, but emotionally, there's a lot of gaslighting there. There's a lot of cheating. There's a lot of all this stuff. Let it go, sis, bro. All the people in between, let it go.
Your presence should give the aura of
that you don't
over with.
Because that is altering your presence. It is altering how you interact with the world, because every time that person does what they do to hurt you, you are changing. Yep. That is not the goal. That is not the goal here.
And that's the thing though. Like I said, at the end of the day, you just at some point, millennials, we are at that point where you need to face the things in a truthful light. You gotta face it. The things, your shortcomings, your presence, your words, your actions, because now it's affecting your long-term goal. Now, when we were younger, of course, when you're 16, 17, actions and things can take place. Things, you're just kind of doing what you're doing. Now, in your profession, in your relationships, in your marriages, in your friendships, it matters. It matters if you are always at work and you got the stank face. Your job is on the line. It matters if you're always, your husband coming home and you, you want to eat? Okay, your relationship your marriage is on the line. It matters. Your child, go over there, go over there, kid, blah, blah, blah. Your children are on the line. It matters, which is why we have to have this conversation. What presence are you bringing into the room? What temperature are you setting within your proximity, in your home, your life? What are you saying? So that's why it's so important that we discuss this, because it's time.
It's and it's things, I feel like there are so many censorships on a lot of things, but this is real talk. This is like we at a slumber party and we're just girls talking.
Yeah.
We are not doctors. We are not specialists. We are just expressing and bringing to light real life issues that so many people talk about, that we text about. Can you just pray for me because this and that's going on? But nobody says anything about it. Nobody says, hey, I'm raising my hand. Me too. I went through that. I'm dealing with it. I'm still dealing with it. My family's dealing with it. My family's wrecked because of blah, blah, blah. Well, why, if there are things that are plaguing us, do we only highlight the good things in our lives?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that there aren't good things. There are a lot of good things going on in my life. However, the bad things are impeding on that. Mm-hmm. Have to go.
And that's the thing. And I'm going to say this and we're going to close out. I always use this example, especially in my marriage. If you have a car and your car it runs smoothly, nothing is wrong, you're driving, and then you hear a clank. And it's just clank, 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 clank. Engine light is on. Are you going to continue to drive that car? Hearing the clank, hearing the problem, knowing that one day it's going to bring your whole car down. You're going to say, oh, wait a minute, I'm about to pull over. What is this? You're going to find that issue, pinpoint it, fix it so that car can run smoothly. That's all this is. I'm a good person. I'm nice. I'm smart. I have, I'm good at this and I'm good at that. But there's that clank, that one thing that's your weakness. Oh my gosh. But when I walk into a room, nobody, they don't know how nice I am. They don't know how good I am. They don't know this because of what I'm bringing. We are focusing on the clank of the car, the issue that is going to cause your whole world to crumble. That's all this is. So
pulling into AutoZone with the little beepity beep thing that they plug into your car. That's all it is. We just checking in on you. More so, we're checking in on ourselves. We are not talking about anything that we have not dealt with, that we are not owning up to, that we are not battling with on a daily. So none of the things that we're saying is like, oh, well, this is a you. Or some people, no, we are people. We are people.
I am me. Yeah, it is us.
I am the people. All right. So please share, subscribe, comment. We are just two people trying to talk it out with other people.
Yeah. Bringing awareness. That's all.
We're bringing awareness. So we just thank you so much for the time, because time is short, y'all. We are so appreciative of the time that you have invested to even listen to anything that we have to say. We thank you for that. We do not take it for granted. We don't take it lightly. This is a privilege and an honor for us. So please stay tuned for our next episode. We are so excited to keep this going.
Oh, I love it.
Check in with you later.
Yes, we will talk to you soon.